Good morning, or afternoon if you happen to be watching this later. I'm calling this video Miss Sewell's final ACA test prep because I'm going to be going over some last-minute information and tips before you take the Adobe Certified Associate exam for Adobe Premiere Pro. First, a few vocabulary words, just to clarify. Horizontal is your x-axis. It's level, flat, even. Vertical is your y-axis. It's upright or standing. Remember it by thinking Miss Sewell doesn't like it when you shoot vertical video on your phone. And just like in math, if you're looking at a position of a video or image or anything else, the x-axis is the first number in the position and the y is the second number, always. Supplemental means more, extra, or additional. For example, Miss Sewell wants you to shoot a supplemental video for your short film. Adjacent means next to. A pane is the same thing as a panel in Premiere Pro, and a bin is a folder, just another word for it. When talking about graphics, a crawl goes across your screen. Think crawl like a baby. Or the weather, when there's severe weather, crawls across the screen. Rolling text moves vertically, like movie credits or the Star Wars text. That's rolling text. Up next, I want to highlight a few concepts that I've seen some students struggle with across the board. The media encoder is one that we haven't really used yet. It's a secondary software from Adobe that allows you to render and transcode your projects. It can be used by itself, but it can also work with Premiere and After Effects. To export the video you are editing using Adobe Media Encoder, you would start just like you always do by going to File, Export Media, or Control-M. After you have changed any settings you need to, you're ready to export. You can click the Export button, and Premiere will start exporting your video. If you click on the Q button, however, Adobe will launch Media Encoder and send your video there. This allows you to export your sequence, keep working in Premiere. RGB is an abbreviation for red, green, and blue, the most common color model in video. Hue is the shade of a color. Think about Monterey and Estacado. Both have blue as one of their primary colors, but they are very different hues or shades of blue. Contrast is the difference of color and brightness in an image. Contrast is difference. When you see contrast, think difference. Vibrance intensifies more muted colors and leaves already intense colors the same. That leaves saturation. Saturation is the intensity of a color in an image. Think on a scale of 1 to 100 how intense your color is. Finally, I have a few test-taking strategies to share with you. Some of these are generic and you've probably heard them all before, but others are specific to this certification exam, and I really think that some of these could make the difference on your test. So here we go. First, read the directions. All of the directions. One word like not or can't in the directions can really make a difference. By the same token, read the question, all of it, even if it looks like a question you saw in the practice exam. They could mix it up, change the answers, or be looking for something different in the question. If the question is more than one sentence, break the question down into parts. Try to complete one part at a time. Make no assumptions and do each task to the best of your ability. If you are in a multiple choice question, you don't know the answer, start by eliminating as many answers that you know are wrong as you can. Oftentimes, this method will lead you to the right answer. If you still aren't sure you're down to 1 or 2 answers, look around for clues in the question, in the other answer choices, and anywhere in the software or elsewhere that you might be able to find. If you see the word apply, the question is likely asking you to add an effect or transition to your video. You apply it. Even if you don't know what that particular effect is, that's okay. Navigate to your effects panel and use the search bar. If it asks you to change anything about that effect once it's applied, go to the Effect Controls panel. Remember, the Effects panel and Effect Controls panel are not the same. You can also search through different folders when you export too, so be sure to take full advantage of any search bars that you can. You shouldn't have to change your workspace while you're taking the test. If you do, your question might disappear. You should be able to complete your tasks using the panels they put in front of you. If you do need to change something, use the menu bar, like File, Edit, Clip, Sequence, that menu bar at the top. This basic menu bar is a great place to start if you don't know what you're doing. You won't lose any points for looking through menus. And hey, let's say the Tools panel disappears and you know you've got to use that tool, but you don't remember the shortcut. You can use the menu bar, go to Window, find the panel you're looking for, and make sure it's checked, and it'll pop up on your screen. The keyboard shortcuts are your friend. If you know them, use them, especially like the arrow keys to move frame by frame. The ACA is a time test, but there is no need to stress about time. You've got plenty of time in class to answer each question. Just answer the question and move on. If you truly don't know the answer, use the Mark for Review button and come back to it at the end. Just don't forget about it. Don't waste your time. Just like on the practice exams, you're going to have some questions that are multiple choice, true, false, or matching. Don't waste too much time on these because while they are important, you'll need more time to complete the task where you have to go do something in Premiere. There's no prize or extra points for finishing early. If you answer all of the questions and still have time, go back to the questions that you marked for a review or maybe that you just weren't sure about. That's it. That's all I've got. Remember, this is a professional, industry-based exam, so it's not easy, and I know that, but I know you can do it. If you don't do as well as you had hoped, that's okay. We'll keep learning this year. Good luck, do your best, and as always, file safe, control less.